squirrels. I've seen some squirrels, but there's nothing going on right now, so I guess we'll continue with the hunt. And you guys will see, you'll see if anything happens, so.
Alright, so Austin and I decided that we were going to get doe tags about a week into the season because all we were seeing was does. We've seen a couple bucks. I saw that nice 8-point before the season. I've seen a couple sixes, a couple spikes, but nothing that I'd want to take early season if I got the chance. So we decided to get doe tags to do a little doe management because we were seeing probably 3 or 4 does every single sit we made. And being at our first season bow hunting, we decided that, let's just shoot a doe. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's, feel out what it's like to bow hunt because we've never done it. I've gun hunted before. I've killed a couple deer with a shotgun, and I killed a nice 7-point with a shotgun, but yeah, we wanted to get doe tags to, experience bow hunting and get some meat in the freezer, really.
Alright, it's been about an hour of sitting here. Not a lot of action. I haven't seen anything. I've heard some stuff. It sounds like deer. I'm not sure, but nothing showing up in my sight. So we're just gonna keep grinding it out, and hopefully at about 6:30ish is when they should be moving in. That's in about 45 minutes. So hopefully we'll see something before that. Give us some hope, but as of right now, we're just gonna keep grinding it. Hope something comes by. Austin set up probably about a half mile away from me, to my east. Actually, more like northeast, but yeah, he's about half a mile away. I don't think he's seen anything either. I haven't seen any text from him or anything, so. At both the spots we're at, 6:30 is probably when it'll start picking up and we'll start seeing some deer. But, yeah, so I'll pull you guys out if I see anything or anything interesting happens, but.
So I was sitting in my spot and I had my camera on my camera arm to self-film the hunt, and when I was shooting a couple panoramic shots, showing out my view and stuff, and I was going to talk to the camera again about more than halfway through the hunt, and I noticed that my camera wasn't turning on. I tried to turn the camera on and it wasn't turning on, so I was like, well, the camera's dead. I didn't charge it enough before. I only charged it for about 3 hours before we went hunting because it was completely dead. And I only had about 20 minutes of camera battery, so unfortunately my camera died right before this doe walked in front of me, and so that kind of made me a little mad that I couldn't get the kill on film, but at the same time it was probably better for me because trying to self-film and shoot a deer for your first time bow hunting might have been a little bit of a challenge. But so when I was sitting there, I started hearing rustling in the thick stuff that was right in front of me. So I had this open field to my left, and there was kind of an opening in the woods to my right. So those 2 spots I couldn't shoot right in front of me. It was really thick. But to my left and to my right were some shooting lanes that I could have, if a deer walked in front of, I could have easily shot at it. But I heard rustling, and I've heard rustling a lot this hunt. I've seen a lot of squirrels. The rustling was the squirrels, and so there's nothing. It'd rather be safe than sorry. So when I heard the rustling, I stood up, I grabbed my bow off the hook, and I was just waiting to see if it was actually a deer or not. When I saw the head of the doe poke out, my heart just started pounding. I mean, it was my first time ever bow hunting. There was a deer coming out really close to me, close enough to basically a gimme shot, and I could not. I was just shaking. I was excited. I was just hoping that I wouldn't screw this up because it was a perfect opportunity, and I was just excited. Came out at 15 yards about. I range finded a couple, landmarks, and one of the landmarks was, he was closer to me, and that landmark was 20 yards, so I assumed that it was about 15 yards, maybe closer, maybe around 12 to 15 probably. I used my 20-yard pin, and she came in broadside and she was quartering to me. So her heart was completely covered by her shoulder. There was no way I could have gotten a heart shot. My only chance of shooting this deer was hitting it at a double lung high. So that's where I aimed really. When I drew back, my heart just started racing again.
We're out here right now, week 2. I'm in my stand, and I get a call from Jackson. He smoked one. Absolutely smoked one, apparently. So right now, I'm getting out of my stand. I'm going to find him. It's been like 45 minutes since he called me. But I'm gonna go, and we're gonna go track down this deer. Hopefully there's some blood. But he said he smoked it. He said he double lunged him. So heck yeah, that's a plus, baby. What a start to week 2. Oh my gosh, that's insane. Probably one of the best calls I've ever had in my life. I'm like shaking for him. I'm so nervous. I didn't even shoot the deer. This is crazy. But I'm going to him right now. This is crazy.
So after the shot, I immediately called Austin. He was set up about a half mile away from me to my northeast, and I just couldn't hold myself together. I wish I would have got the call on film because I was just freaking out pretty much. It was my first ever deer with a bow, and I was very confident that it was dead because I saw my arrow go in. I saw my penetration. I had about that much of an arrow sticking out, so I knew that penetration was good. So after I called everyone, I got out of my stand. Well, I went down to the initial impact probably about 30 to 45 minutes after I shot it. I didn't see a lot of blood, which was kind of discouraging, but I could see where I last saw it, and I went over there and I just found tons of blood, and that really boosted my confidence. So I waited for my dad to get there. I waited for Austin to get there, and Austin's dad and mine and his brothers came too, and we went on with the track, and that deer only ran 35 yards at most from where I last saw it. So it was a really easy track job. You literally followed the blood trail for about 10 yards and I could see the deer just laying down. So I don't know how I didn't see it after I shot it. I didn't see it crash at all or anything. But yeah, it was a pretty easy track job, and thank God we found that deer because that's my first deer ever with a bow. Felt amazing. Definitely is way more exhilarating than gun hunting by having that deer so much closer to you and there's so much more room for failure with a bow than a gun. So it was definitely an experience of a lifetime.
What? You want me to get the four-wheeler back here?
No, they can drive to that little bit.
Well, I can get it
Nice
right
here, Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Hey, first one ever?
First one with a bow, yeah. I shot.
Oh, you smoked him.
I laced him. Look, he's bubbling.
Yeah. Get down there, Jackson.
Oh, that's a big one. Jeez.
Nice. Perfect.